Good day everyone, we are the Group 4 and our report is all about Renaissance art. We first define what is Renaissance. So Renaissance is a French word translating to rebirth and symbolize the beginning of new era of art. And also Renaissance art was characterized by realism and naturalism. They used techniques such as perspective, shadows, and light to add depth to their work. Renaissance began in the period from 14th century until 16th century. It started in Florence, Italy and later spread north to Germany and England. Italian Renaissance. They were interested in human achievement instead of religious or spiritual achievement. The figure in their artwork look like Greek or Roman gods. Next is Northern Renaissance. Northern Renaissance were interested in the early Christian period. The figures in their artwork were more realistic. So if we say realistic, is that artists provide more detailed or highly detailed meaning in work. Both Northern and Italian Renaissance interested in Greek and Roman culture, or the classic, use of perspective in paintings, believe in humanism, and use critical method of study.
Key characteristics of Renaissance art. Realism and naturalism. Renaissance artists aim to depict the world as realistically as possible. They focus on accurate portrait of human anatomy, facial expressions, and details of the natural world. Humanism. Humanism was a central intellectual movement during the Renaissance that emphasized the value of human reason, education, and individual potential. This perspective greatly influenced the subject matter of Renaissance art, which is often featured human figures in various settings. Linear perspective. Renaissance artists developed techniques to create the illusion of depths on dimensional surface. Linear perspectives involves using converging lines to create the impression of distance, giving the painting a sense of depth and a three-dimensionality. Chiaroscuro. Chiaroscuro is a technique to involve the use of strong contrast between light and dark to create a sense of volume and modeling the three-dimensional objects and figures. Artists like Leonardo da Vinci and Caravaggio were known for their mastery of chiaroscuro. Sfumato. Developed by Leonardo da Vinci, sfumato refers to the blending on and softening edges between colors and tones. This technique creates subtle, gradual transition between colors and contributes to a sense of depth and realism. Individualism. Renaissance art began to emphasize the unique qualities of individual subjects. Portraits gain importance and artists start signing their works, marking the departure of Mediterranean practice of anonymity. Fresco painting. Frescoes are painting created on wet plaster's wall. This technique was popular during the Renaissance, particularly in Italy. Artists like Michelangelo adore the ceilings of grand buildings such as Sistine Chapel with intricate frescoes. The Renaissance spanned several centuries and saw the evolution of the artistic styles and ideas. Early Renaissance. The first stage, focusing primarily on realism and rediscovery of classical art, laying the groundwork for late developments. High Renaissance is described as a peak of artistic achievement, marked by a sense of balance, harmony, and divine perfection, exemplified by artists like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Raphael. mannerism is the present as the departure from the High Renaissance, characterized by elongate figures, exaggerating pose, and more emotional dramatic styles, reflecting a shift in artistic sensibility.
Next is Renaissance artists.
Donatello. Donatello was the first great sculptor of the Renaissance. Donatello revived the classical Greco-Roman style of sculpture that were realistic and could be viewed from all sides. Telios, or David, was the first large, freestanding human sculpture of the Renaissance.
Michelangelo. Michelangelo was one of the most famous Renaissance artists. He was a painter, sculptor, architect, and poet. His sculptures and paintings showed realism, detail of the human body, and expression to show personality and emotion. Example of Michelangelo work is Pieta. Pieta is the example of realism artwork. He used realistic technique to do this sculpture. Also, one of the example is David. Michelangelo's greatest work is the 130 feet times 44 feet ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, which shows biblical images, amazing detail, and beauty. Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci was a true Renaissance man. He was a painter and sculptor whose art was known for incredible realism and emotion. He was also an inventor and scientist whose sketches reveal observations about human anatomy and new engineering technique. His Last Supper shows Jesus' last meeting with the 12 apostles before the crucifixion. The facial expression detail motion made masterpiece. Leonardo da Vinci's greatest masterpiece was the Mona Lisa, which was known for its emotion and depth.
Raphael.
He improved perspective and realism by studying Leonardo and Michelangelo. Raphael became the favorite painter of the Pope because of his amazing detailed paintings, showing a combination of famous Greek artists along with Renaissance people. Raphael's greatest painting was School of Athens, which blended classical figures from Greece and Rome with important people from the Renaissance.